Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, apologies about that, and also apologies if the quality of this video is not too great either. If there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it can't be helped, and hopefully it isn't much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2024 related video here on my channel, and another installment in my sporadic series titled What We Know So Far, where I go through pretty much everything we as Eurovision fans know so far about the upcoming edition of the ESC, which this year will take place for a third time in the city of Malmö in Sweden in May. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts about anything I discussed today by leaving a comment down below, and as always there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. Before I get into all of the information that I wish to discuss today, I did put something up on my community tab very recently, and I just want to make a point of it here as well. I've been feeling strangely worn out over the past few weeks. I really don't know why. There's not really a reason for it whatsoever, but I've just not been feeling 100%. I'm talking to you now, and I feel as though somebody has smacked me around the side of the head. And I really don't know if it's going to have any strong impact on my YouTube channel or anything like that. I doubt it, but you never know. So I'm just giving you a heads up right now. And if I do appear a little bit more lethargic in my next few videos, you know why. But anyway, we are reaching that point of the year where everything just ramps up so much with regards to Eurovision. We're getting so many more national finals taking place. We're getting so many internally selected songs coming our way in the next few weeks. Right now, as I'm talking to you, it is February the 12th. I think we have about 13 songs for this year's upcoming contest. By the end of this month, that will probably be somewhere in the region of 24 or 25 songs. So, like I said, it's really going to ramp up very quickly indeed. Anyway, it says here that this year's contest, of course, we've known this for a while, will take place on Tuesday the 7th, Thursday the 9th, and Saturday the 11th of May in Malmö, at the very same venue that hosted in 2013, with one of the very same presenters, absolutely. Pietra Mede is back. This is a fairly recent announcement. Pietra is from Stockholm. She's also worked on Melfest. She also co-hosted with Graham Norton that Celebration show in London a few years ago. She hosted in 2013. And she co-hosted in 2016. So she is doing it for a third time. She's 53. Fair play. She's going to be joined by the actress Malin Åkerman, who's also from Stockholm. She's 45. I am familiar with her name. I've not really seen her in any movies or anything. She's appeared in films such as 27 Dresses, The Proposal, Watchmen, Rock of Ages, I have seen that, and a whole bunch of other things as well. She mainly works in America. She's appeared on the US version of The Masked Singer, and also one episode of How I Met Your Mother, which I almost certainly will have seen at some point. So there you go, it's Pietra and Malin, the dream team this year. 37 countries are involved, 26 of which will be in the final. Luxembourg are back for the first time since the early 90s, and Romania said thanks, but no thanks, to taking part this year. Since my last What We Know So Far video, we have had the semi-final allocation draw, which I did make a video about. And the first semi-final consists of 15 countries. They'll all vote alongside Germany, Sweden and the UK, and the rest of the world. Semi-final 2, 16 countries. They'll all vote along with France, Italy and Spain, and the rest of the world. On paper, semi-final 1 looks again to be the stronger of the two, but until we have the full lineup, we won't really know for sure. With that being said, is there anything else to discuss besides the national finals and internal selections? Not really. We do have the artwork for this year's contest, which I think we had 2 weeks ago anyway, which revolves around coloured lights, the northern lights, that sort of thing. It's a very simple design, but it looks quite effective. And there's also been a bit of talk about changes to the show itself, particularly the final. I did see a very brief interview that Krista Björkman gave saying about reducing the length of the grand final by maybe up to an hour. And based on what he said, there's going to be different periods in the show where commercial breaks usually take place. Here in the UK it's not really a problem because the BBC don't have commercial breaks as it is. But I know other countries do. And that's when there are pauses in the show. So the gist I got from what he said in this very short interview was that they're going to maybe change when these pauses take place, plus a shorter interval act. But we just have to wait and see. Anyway, shall we go through the countries in question? Oh, why not? And I think while I'm at it, I'm going to get my trusty notebook, one of my trusty notebooks. Here we go, this one will do. And we're going to be very, very honest, aren't we? Because why not? Why not? We're going to make a note of which countries can win and which countries haven't got a chance, because I think it's fair to say that at this moment in time we know some countries just aren't winning. So with that in mind, let's go through the countries taking part in semi-final 1 in the first half, and we begin with a country whose entry we don't know yet. It is Croatia. Dora begins on February the 22nd, which is next week, and that will begin with the first semi-final, and then a day later is semi-final 2, and then on February the 25th is the grand final. We do have the semi-final split. Semi-final 1 involves artists including Sasha Lozar, last year's Croatian representatives Let 3 with Baba Roga. You've also got Barbara Munjaš, Noel, Vinko, Misha, and a whole bunch of others. How many qualify from each show? 12 entries will perform in each semi-final, 8 qualify, based purely on a public vote. In the final, it will be a 50-50 combination of votes from the public, and a jury composed of 4 national panels and 4 international panels. Germany, I wouldn't trust them with a vote, Iceland, Italy, and Ukraine. Okay, picked out of a hat at random then. Semi-final 2 has Damir Kedsho, the 2020 representative who never got to be on the Eurovision stage, Boris Stock, the Splitters, James Knight, and the favourite, Rim Tim Tagi Dim by Baby Lasagna, who is only here because a previous act withdrew from the lineup. And the fact that Baby Lasagna is the favourite, I think, goes a long way to explaining the whole selection process in Croatia and how it maybe could do with a little bit of a revamp. Anyway, I would say it's between Baby Lasagna and Let 3. Some people have said Croatia could win this year. I have to say I'm not too sure about that. So Croatia are not winning. Cyprus. Well, I'm holding off on Cyprus because we haven't heard the song, although I think some sort of demo version has been leaked. There's a surprise. Celia Kapsis is the representative. She's 17 from Sydney. She has had quite a bit of success in her career so far. She's worked in Los Angeles. She's also appeared in a short film. She's also worked with Nickelodeon in Australia. She was nominated for a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award last year. Nominated for Aussie Kiwi Legend of the Year. Wow, okay, so I imagine a lot of kids, perhaps in Australia/New Zealand, would recognise her face. I really don't know. She's released a whole bunch of singles. I say a whole bunch, 4 to date, but that's still a pretty good number for somebody who's 17. I imagine she's probably going to be working on her debut EP at some point. Her song is called Liar, and I think we're getting it at the end of this month. I believe the music video has or is being filmed in Los Angeles with an entirely American crew, so expect something fairly slick and perhaps in the vein of the past few Cypriot entries, which have also been by female musicians. A slick pop effort. Cyprus could win, as I don't really know exactly what to expect. We'll put Cyprus in this makeshift maybe column that I've just created here in my notebook. We move on to Ireland. They're not winning. Give over. This is Bambi Thug with Doomsday Blue. Well, credit where credit's due. Ireland are going in a completely different direction this year, and I think it's very welcome. The national final Euro song was on January the 26th, and it was Bambi Thug, real name Bambi Ray Robinson, aged 30, from County Cork. They have released 3 EPs to date and several singles, including Headbang and Careless and Doomsday Blue. This was the 3rd favourite with the international jury, the favourite with the national jury, and the favourite with the Irish public. She finished ahead of Next in Line. I'm sorry, the Irish people thought that was the 2nd best. And Go to Ban, which was my personal favourite, finished 3rd. Hopefully Ailsa will try again sooner rather than later to represent her country, but there we are. Anyway, this is such a different song. It's sort of gothic, electro, very, very different. There are parts of this song that I like, and parts of this song that I'm really not keen on. And I have to say, I do wonder about its chances in Malmö, because as much as Eurovision fans, I think, very much appreciate Ireland for doing something different, and they appreciate the sound and the look of this performer and the energy that maybe they're bringing to the table, neutral listeners are probably going to think that this is god-awful. And we have to remember that 99.9% of people watching in May are people who will have never heard this song before. Are they really going to gravitate towards it or not? It remains to be seen. It says here, numerous conservative personalities and groups have criticised the song and the artist. I may as well name and shame. Leader of the far-right Irish Freedom Party, Herman Kelly, posted a tweet drawing comparisons to former Irish entrant and puppet character Dustin the Turkey, and called Doomsday Blue woke nonsense typical of the Irish establishment, accusing it of celebrating Satanism. By February the 6th, over 2,000 people signed a petition to disqualify her, or them rather, sorry, from competing at the Eurovision Song Contest on the basis of Bambi Thug making a mockery of Irish national culture. 2 days later, Father Declan McInerney, which is an Irish priest's name if ever I've heard one, an Irish Catholic priest, also heavily criticised the song and Robinson, stating in a sermon that the poor devil can neither sing nor dance. Well, I'm sure Bambi Thug couldn't give a flying toss. So there you go. There's been a very mixed response to this song, and I've rambled for the ages there. What I will say is that I think the performance at the national final, I actually didn't really like it that much, so it needs to be a hell of a lot tighter for Eurovision, which I'm sure it will be. And in terms of, I don't know, Satanism, that's going a bit far. But anyway, Doomsday Blue is the Irish entry, but Ireland are not winning. And in all honesty, on paper, looking at the countries we have in semi-final 1, I'm not sure Ireland are qualifying again. There we go. Anyway, Lithuania. The national final, Eurovision.lt, is this weekend. We've had 5 shows, 6 shows previously. No, we haven't. What the hell am I on about? This is... You can see why I'm a little bit worn out. 5 shows previously. The final is this weekend. In semi-final 1, Sylvester Belt and VB Gang qualified. Luktelk is a big fan favourite. I'm not sure it's going to win. Kaboom, absolutely not the song Lithuania should be sending. In semi-final 2, Aiste and Shalverinis qualified. Both okay songs, neither of which I think are worthy winners. Semi-final 3 was really quite pants, but Shower and Pluie de Comet qualified from that particular show. Semi-final 4, Il Senso, who very comfortably won the public half of the results there, and I don't think anybody should be ruling out that song doing very, very well this weekend. They qualified along with Monica Maria, which I have to say is very nice indeed. And then this past weekend, the Roop, who won the Lithuanian selection in 2020 and again in 2021, they went through easily, winning the jury vote and public vote, and they've gone through along with Queens of Roses, who have also been involved a few times before. We don't have the running order for the grand final yet. It looks to be a two-horse race between the Roop with Simple Joy, and it's a much simpler effort than what we've had from them in the past, and Sylvester Belt. Most people want Sylvester. I wouldn't be surprised if we have the Roop. I'm not ruling out Il Senso. Could Lithuania win this year? I doubt it. So they're in the no column. Anyway, we move. I have to say, I'm really not impressed with the Lithuanian quality. That national final doesn't look particularly strong to me, but there we are. Poland, they're going internal. We must be getting the artist fairly soon. Loads of rumoured names here, including, what have we got here? Spleen, Piotr Maslanka, Coles, Edita Gorniak, Justina, both of whom have been at Eurovision before. The winner of The Voice Kids in 2020, Common People, Julie Fox, Kaomi, Claudia Magica, loads and loads of people, many of whom I've not heard of. But at some point we will be getting the Polish act and song. Possibly Justina. A lot of people have been talking about her on social media. Her song has been released. I haven't heard it, but apparently it's not too bad. Poland go in the maybe column. We move on to Serbia. Their national final, Pesma za Euroviziju, begins on February the 27th, first semi-final. 2 days later, February 29th, second semi-final. Finals on March the 2nd. Do we have the semi-final split yet? I want to say we do. Yes, we do. Semi-final 1 includes Breskvica with Nezdo Orlovo. That's a contender. She's a big star. Lena Kovacevic is there. Filari, Chai, Zoria. Lots of interesting names. Some decent songs. Semi-final 2, Sasha Yanks, I think her actual name is. Yeah, well, Alexandra Yankovic, Sashka Yanks, also known as Yanks. She's involved. Teodora, big star, with Ramonda. That might be the one to beat. Philip Baloch is there, Zaina, and of course 2022 representative Konstrakta. I've not seen nearly as much love for her song this time around, which is called Novobolje, but she's probably the one to beat. Are Serbia going to win this year? I doubt it, but we'll put them in the maybe column. We move on to Ukraine. Well, there's the country to beat. Ukraine always do well. And this year, the winners of Vidbir, very comfortably, it must be said. No surprises, Aliona and Jerry Hale with Teresa and Maria. Aliona's name is actually Aliona Savranenko. She's 32. She's released 4 albums, my apologies. Many singles. She's a rapper. And obviously Jerry has been involved before. Her real name is Yana Shemaeva. She's 28, from Vasilkiv. She has a YouTube channel, 2 albums to date, many singles. Vegan was in Vidbir several years ago. When God Shut the Door, that was in Vidbir last year, was it? Or the year before? Very recently, nevertheless. Anyway, Teresa and Maria, second in the jury vote, behind Place I Call Home. Okay, you do you, jury. As for the public, many hundreds of thousands of votes ahead of Yaktak. It wasn't close at all. 21 points in total, and it is this female duo heading to Eurovision. One of the songwriters is and maybe a member as well, I don't really know, of Kalush Orchestra's Stefania. So there you go. We move on. Ukraine, absolutely, like I said, can win this year. Australia are in the second half. We've no idea what's happening there. Danny Minogue, Dami Eam, Electric Fields. It could be one of those names. Azerbaijan, we had a short list of artists before Christmas. Everything's gone quiet since. It's either going to be Aysel, the 2018 representative, Emilia, Fari, Ilkin Dovlatov, Miller Miles and Etibar Sadli, Korkud, or Sabina Guluzada. It's one of those names. We'll be finding out probably at the start of March. As for Finland, well, if you think I'm making a video this year called Why Finland Should Win Eurovision 2024, you've got another think coming. Uuden Musiikin Kilpailu, UMK, took place this past weekend, February the 10th. 7 songs were involved. There was a jury vote which had 25% of the say in the outcome. What we've now established is that the jury vote was a complete waste of time, because the song that was last with the jury won anyway. The winner of the jury vote, to no surprise, was Pascana by Sarro Sipola. Cyan Kicks were second, and then Vox Populi was third, which is maybe a little bit on the surprising side. In the public half of the results, with 72,651 votes and 32.35% of the results in the public half of the results. I'm rambling big time now. Anyway, we know what happened. Windows 95 man himself came out on top with no rules, winning very comfortably ahead of Sarra Sipola, and Vox Populi, that song finished third. Cine Sabotage, fan favourite, last place. Of course, the UK jury, who I can only assume were smoking something funny, decided that No Rules was the best song of the entire batch. Christ alive. I haven't even watched the full performance yet, but I've seen enough of it to know that it was quite out there, absolutely. Is this a fine song? Not really. Is it a fun song? Yes. Is it going to win Eurovision? Is it hell? If this makes the final, which is likely because the semi-finals are 100% public vote, this is going to be crucified in the final by the jurors. Finland aren't winning. If you ask me, this is an enormous disappointment and an absolutely huge downgrade on what we had last year. Cha 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 was so great, and that was a fun song, executed so well. This feels cringeworthy, I'm afraid to say. Windows 95 man himself, his real name is actually Timu Keisteri. He's 38, parading around in a pair of short shorts, and he might have to change his name for Eurovision, because Eurovision prohibits product placement. So he might just be known as 95 man? I haven't got a clue. Anyway, what really bugs me about this particular track is that why is he the lead act? Because the person who does most of the heavy lifting is a guy called Henry Pispanen, who is slightly younger than me. He's done voices for animated films and TV shows. He's the bloke who deserves all the credit, because he's the one that sings in the chorus, does he not? Anyway, suffice to say, I'm not really a lover of this song, but I can tolerate it. Nevertheless, if Finland come close to winning this year, it's a minor miracle. We move on to Iceland. God help them, because Songförkeppnin is starting on February the 17th, which is this weekend. Semi-final 2 is on February the 24th. The finals on March the 2nd. The reason I said God help them is because we could have a situation here where all the votes go towards one particular artist in a sort of protest, which is what it would be. Do I want that to happen? Do I hell? Why? Because it is so not the strongest song here. Also, the semi-finals are lopsided as all hell. In semi-final 1 we have Seastone, Blanky Fleur, Anita, Sunny and Vibe. Okay, in semi-final 2 we have Hera Björk, been there and done that with Eurovision, Heithrun Anna, her song's not bad, Sigga Usk, not bad, Maya, also not bad, and then slap bang in the middle is the only guy in that heat, Bashar Murad with Vestrith Vilt, Wild West. Only 2 go through from each semi-final. There will be a wild card as well, which is usually the song finishing third that got the most votes across both shows. I need to listen to the Icelandic songs again. I don't think it's a bad batch, but Iceland aren't winning, are they? Let's be honest. And there was a lot of hype for Bashar's song, and when it was released, yeah, all that hype went straight out the window. I think it's fair to say. It's not a bad song, but my God almighty, it shouldn't be anywhere near winning. Absolutely nowhere near winning. And, you know, I say it as nicely as I can. I want the best possible song to go to Eurovision. His song is not the best possible song. There are better choices. But Iceland will probably do whatever the hell they feel like. Anyway, that's the situation with Songförkeppnin. We move on to Luxembourg, who are represented by Tally with Fighter. There's been controversy about this, because apparently she has posted things about Israel and what have you on social media. She is from Israel, actually. She was born to a Peruvian Jewish father and an Israeli mother. Her song really isn't bad, Fighter. It won the Luxembourg national final. There were 3 songs in the end that went through to the super final. She was second with the public, narrowly second, won the jury vote, 178 points in total. And the UK jury gave this 12 too. It's a pretty simple pop song. I think if they elevate the staging a little bit, maybe add a little bit more choreography, this could be pretty good live. It certainly could stand out, but I don't expect Luxembourg to really qualify at this stage, even before we know all of the songs. So Luxembourg are going in the not winning column. But it's not a bad song for their return. As for Moldova, national final is this weekend, Etapa Națională. We did have the live audition round last month, which was won by Natalia Barbu. Been there and done that with Eurovision, of course, in 2007. This could be the 4th year in a row, I believe. Moldova sends somebody again, somebody who's done Eurovision before. Valeria Pasha is there, her song's not bad, co-written by Pasha Parfeni. Catalina Solomac, her song's not bad at all. And we also have artists including Y Limit, Victor Gulick, and Regina Alexandrina. But really, this is Natalia Barbu's to lose. The song isn't bad, but it ain't winning Eurovision. Moldova might even struggle to qualify, based on the names we have in this first semi-final. Moving on to Portugal, Festival de Canção. The finals on March the 9th, the semi-finals begin on February the 24th. We have the semi-final split. In the first show, we have artists including Left, Nena and Bispo, and Iolanda with Grito, which is a bit of a fan favourite. And in semi-final 2, we have Maria João, Silk Nobre, João Couto, No Maca featuring Anna Maria, and so on. I don't really know who the favourite is there. I think it's Philippa. But Iolanda as well, a lot of people are liking that. I don't think Portugal are winning this year, but I will listen to those songs again in due course, because I usually do end up liking quite a few of the songs in contention for Portugal, and I don't want to ignore them. So at some point I will listen to them again. As for Slovenia, I'm surprised more people aren't ranking this highly. It's Veronica by Raven, who is classically trained, I believe, and she's got quite an impressive voice. This song is co-written with Bojan of Joker Out. There is a story to this song. Whether that really comes across live at Eurovision, I don't know. Slovenia, I don't think are winning. Some people are already saying that this might not even qualify. I'm not sure about that. It's in the Slovenian language. It's a nice, quite dramatic effort. Music video wasn't bad either. I have nothing more to say about it. So based on that, Ukraine could win. Many countries won't be winning. Cyprus, Poland and Serbia, we wait and see. Moving on to semi-final 2. In the first half we have Albania. We've known the singer and the song for ages. There must be a revamp at some point. It is Zemrendor by Besa. This did not win FIC, but it was the public's choice to go to Eurovision, and thank heavens it was. This is fine. Albania have a habit of sneaking through. It's not winning Eurovision though, let's be quite honest. Then we have Armenia. Rumours are now that it could be former junior Eurovision winner Malena, who was there at UMK this past weekend giving the Armenian jury points. So that could be quite interesting. Athena Manoukian as well would have been there in 2020. I believe her name has also been bandied about online. I'm going to put Armenia in the maybe column. Austria, the singer is Kalin, who's been a stand-in artist at Eurovision several times. She's also been stage director at the adult competition and involved with junior Eurovision as well. 1 album to date so far. She's in her late 20s. The song is called We Will Rave. There's some sort of version of it circulating on the internet. I haven't heard it. Apparently it's a sort of throwback 90s sounding pop song. I'm going to put Austria in the maybe column. It is what it is. As for Czechia, we've known the singer and the song for ages. The national final, ESCZ, was on December the 13th. The voting was very bizarre. I'm not really sure about weighting the votes at all, but there we are. Aiko is the representative. The song is called Pedestal. It's a sort of angsty, rocky number. She was born on December 26th, 1999, aged 24, from Moscow. 3 albums to date, including Expiration Date in 2020. I really don't mind this. Live performance was a shambles. Studio cut isn't bad. Doesn't matter, because Czechia aren't winning and might not even qualify. As for Denmark, DMGP, also known as the stinkiest national final every year. That's taking place this upcoming weekend. We have the running order, 8 songs. Basim, the 2014 representative, is there. We've also got Rosie Lou, Saba, who's opening the show, Aura Dion with Mirrorball of Hope. I don't really have a strong favourite here, it must be said. One thing for sure is that Denmark aren't winning and might not even qualify yet again. Can you believe the last time Denmark were in the final was in 2019? As for Greece, it's Marina Satti, who's 37, from Athens, also born on the 26th of December. How about that? One album so far called Yena. She's been making music for a long, long time. She's been working with lots of musical groups as well. She was born to a Sudanese Arab father and a Greek mother from Crete. She's filming the music video for her song this week, I believe. I've got high hopes for it. Greece, I'm going to say, maybe could win. We have to wait and see. As for Malta, their very slipshod national final sort of started on October the 27th. We had 4 semi-finals. The final was on February the 3rd. It was won by Sarah Bonici with Loop. She was the second favourite with the Maltese public. They preferred Matt Black. And she was the favourite with the jury. Ryan Hilly was third. Matt Black was second. Erba with Sirena fourth. Sarah is 25 from Gozo. She's the daughter of a CEO. Oh yes. She has a master's degree in accounting. Oh yes, she's doing all right for herself. The song has had comparisons to Chanel's Slow Mo. Some of the choreography is a bit similar. I don't mind it though. It's a pretty polished pop song. I think it was one of the best choices for Malta, even if it is fairly generic. But it's not winning, and who knows? We all know Malta struggle in the public half of the results. The fact that the semi-finals are 100% public vote makes me think Malta could struggle again. As for Switzerland, we don't know anything. They could win. It's not going to be a ballad, I believe. I think it will be a female soloist myself. We wait and see. In the second half, Belgium are represented by Musty. We've known about him for ages, internally chosen. Thomas Mustin is 33, from Brussels. He's been involved with Drag Race Belgique. He's released 2 albums, several somewhat successful singles. His song is being released on February the 20th. I didn't know that. That's the middle of next week, so there'll be a video on my channel reacting to that song. I think it's going to be a smooth, relaxing track. But who knows? As for Estonia, Eesti Laul is this weekend. We had the semi-final about 2 weeks ago. 5 Minust and Pulup are the ones to beat, absolutely. They could absolutely walk the televote. Ollie is there again, Ewart and the Two Dragons, Peter Poida, Annette Weikmar, and then you had Brother Apollo, Carlos Ucarreda, Annette, I just mentioned her, Daniel Levi, Udo Sepp and Sarah Murray, and Nelelise Vaiksu. We have the running order for the final as well. It's between Ollie and the artists with the song with the very long title. I'm not really fussed who wins. It is bound to be one of those two. Could Estonia win this year? Maybe. And I say that because the song with the really long title does have a lot of support, and it will stand out so much in Malmö if it gets there. We move on to Georgia. We know the singer. It's Nutsa Buzaladze, who was the runner-up in the selection a few years ago. She's 27. She's been working in America. She was on American Idol. She's also competed at Expo 2020. She performed in Dubai at that particular event. She was on Georgia's Got Talent. She was on The Voice of Turkey. She was on Dancing with the Stars in Georgia. Pretty much every show you can think of, she's been on at some point. She's released 1 EP to date. I'm excited to hear her song, and Georgia are quite high up in the betting odds for some reason. So somebody knows something, and Georgia haven't qualified since 2016, the last time the contest was in Sweden. As for Israel, well, let's gloss over them because it's a controversial subject matter. Hakok Haba took place over the course of many, many weeks. The winner, Eden Golan, who was the public's favourite and the jury favourite. She was born in Russia. No, she wasn't. She was born in Israel but has lived in Russia. She's 20. She was on the Russian version of The Voice Kids. She also tried to represent Russia at Junior Eurovision. She was on I Can See Your Voice Israel in 2023. So she wasn't a complete unknown coming into the Israeli selection. Her song, which I believe will have Hebrew lyrics, will be released in March. Could Israel win this year? A lot of people will say no. I'm not ruling it out. As for Latvia, It's Dons, Huge Star with Hollow. Supernova took place this past weekend. We had a semi-final as well. Dons won the public vote very convincingly, it says here. He also won the jury vote. Vestules, the male-female young duo, they were second. And the Cats song was third. Thank heavens that's not going to Eurovision. Hollow is pretty basic, but it's also fairly well done. And, you know, play it safe. Play it safe this year, I guess. Latvia aren't winning, but if this makes the final, it could do really well in the jury vote. As for the Netherlands, it's Joost Klein. He is 26 from Leeuwarden. He's released several albums. His last one reached number 2. He's released a couple of singles, including Ham and Droom Groot and Joost Klein 2. Okay, I'm not massively familiar with his work. I have listened to some of it. It's either going to be really, really enjoyable and well executed, or it's going to be a mess. And some people have said that this could clash with what Finland are bringing to the table. Anyway, Netherlands maybe could win. I'm leaning towards it being a public favourite rather than a jury favourite. The song will be released next month. As for Norway, it's Gorta with Ulveham. Fantastic. This is a strong contender for the win in Malmö, as far as I'm concerned. MGP, we had 3 semi-finals in the final. This was the public's favourite. This was the second favourite with the juries behind Kano, or Kino. My AI was third. Okay. Norway could win. It's Norway and Ukraine at the moment, plus one other country I'll get to in a moment. Take a wild guess. I'll tell you, it's Italy. Oh, you guessed correctly. Anyway, Ulveham, yeah, what a cracking song. That's just going to sound so epic at Eurovision. And a lot of people who maybe think Eurovision is full of cheesy music, they might be blown away for 3 minutes when they hear that particular track. As for San Marino, who the hell knows what's going on here? Semi-finals, they begin on February the 19th. There's 5 of them. The finals on February the 24th. I don't even know who's involved. Alabaster, Julia, Ven Smith. Aren't Megara involved? Yes, they are. Megara. Remember them from Benidorm Fest last year? They're involved. Fantastic. There's a San Marinese semi-final. This is Ellie. Ex Giove are involved. Weren't they 3rd place last year? Known Physics. Dana Gillespie, who's appeared in Jesus Christ Superstar. She's 74. What the hell is this? Is anybody really paying a lot of attention to San Marino? They ain't winning. They're probably not even qualifying. But you never know. You never know. Megara are there. As for the automatic finalists, I'm going to try and rattle through this now because this video is so messy and I am shattered. France, is that the jury winner in the final? We don't have many ballads, and that's the only song that's really hitting me as a jury favourite so far. It's Slimane, Huge Star. He's 34, 4 albums, number 1, number 2, number 1, number 1, singles, like you wouldn't believe. This guy is a big, big deal. His song is called Mon Amour. It's a big old ballad, typically French, you know, you could argue. It's nice stuff. As for Germany, Das Deutsche Finale is on February the 16th. We had this sort of pre-qualification crap. Ich will zum ESC. It was won by Florian. I haven't even heard the song. In the national final, we have Bodine Monet with Tears Like Rain. That's pretty decent. We have Mary Rain with Naive, which is this sort of typical Schlager pop number. We have Maximilian Mutzke, the 2004 representative. He could win this very comfortably. Oh Boy by Rick is the favourite. We know what Germany are like, though. I'm going to say Germany aren't winning. Oh Boy could get Germany a good result in Malmö. I really think so. Anything else, I'm not sure about. And I don't trust the jury, or indeed the German public, one bit. We'll leave Italy for now. We'll talk about Spain. I'm disappointed by this. It's Nebulosa with Zorra. Nebulosa are a pop duo. Let's not forget that they were involved in San Marino's selection 2 years ago and didn't get through the audition stage. And now here they are as automatic finalists. They've released 1 album. This song is fine. Didn't love the staging. Not sure it's going to do too well with the jury vote at Eurovision. Public will like it more, but I don't think any of us should be surprised if this flops hard. This was the expert jury's joint favourite, the demoscopic jury's third favourite, and the public's favourite, ahead of St. Pedro, who finished second in the end. Angie Fernandez, my favourite, finished third. Jorge Gonzalez, for some reason, finished fourth. Spain aren't winning. It's nothing to do with the lyrics of the song. It's nothing to do with the performers. There's this whole thing online about, oh, you don't like the Spanish entry because you're so ageist and you don't understand the lyrics. No, it's nothing to do with that. I'm just not really loving the song. Gotta be honest. And it's a shame because I usually don't mind what Spain bring to the table. Even their poor results a few years ago, I didn't really mind the songs that much. But this just isn't really my cup of tea. I hold my hands up. As for Sweden, we've had 2 shows in Melfest. There'll be another video from me later this week regarding Heat 3. Lisa Ajax and Smash Into Pieces are through to the final already, along with Maria Sur and Liamu. Adam Woods, Elisa Lindström, Dear Sarah and Fröken Snusk are into this very bizarre run-off vote, which seems to include the results from their own heats, added to the results of this run-off vote. Sweden are just doing whatever the hell they like. As for the UK, it's Ollie Alexander, formerly part of Years and Years. He's from Harrogate, which of course has hosted Eurovision. He's 33. He's been nominated for a BAFTA. He's been in a couple of movies, plenty of TV bits and pieces. He was in Skins, which I completely forgot about. Anyway, his song is called Dizzy. He's co-written this with somebody who's very much involved with Dua Lipa's work. The song is not out yet. It's being released on the 1st of March, I believe. I'll do a video regarding it. There was a snippet. Didn't love the sound of it, to be honest. I'll be honest. Didn't love the sound of it. Anyway, that's the UK. Oh, I've messed up here, haven't I? Sweden. Sweden could win. Give me a break. And the UK, I'm going to say maybe. There is a lot of buzz for it. But Italy could win. Heavens above. It was 1:30 in the morning when the result came in from Sanremo. Angelina Mango, who has since confirmed she's doing Eurovision, she was so far behind Jolia in the public vote. It is ludicrous. Ludicrous. Thank heavens that the press jury and the radio jury had a bit more sense. IP Me Tu Pite is fine. Christ alive, it wasn't the best song here. La Noia is going to Eurovision. This is fantastic. It feels very Latin influenced. The energy, the electricity, the vibrancy of it all, the confidence. Her mother was at Sanremo twice in the 90s. Her father, who is no longer with us, unfortunately, he was a successful musician as well. So it was written in the stars, really, that Angelina Mango was going to do this. 40.3%, ahead of Annalisa as well, who finished 3rd. Is she ever going to do Eurovision? I don't know. Gali was 4th. Okay. Irama was 5th. Fine, not a bad song. Sanremo itself, I'll listen to all of the songs again at some point because the quality was strong and I'm sure I'm going to end up liking all of the songs a bit more when I do check them out again at some point. But Italy absolutely could win. So, there we have it. There's really not much else to say, dear viewers. Thank you for sticking with me for nearly 43 minutes. Ukraine, Norway, Sweden, the UK and Italy could win. Some countries might win. Everybody else, forget about it. It ain't happening. Anyway, I'm now going to take a break. I cannot believe how much that has exhausted me. I don't know what's going on with me. I really don't. Anyway, until next time, hopefully you enjoyed this massive ramble. Apologies if I didn't make any sense half the time. And let me know your thoughts on anything to do with this year's contest. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Apologies if there was any lag. And bye for now. Take care.